Hello and welcome to all. Lionel Messi is like the superhero of soccer. He has all the super abilities except he can only use them on the field. But unlike Batman, who is a masked vigilante, Messi is a silent hero. He preserves his privacy by avoiding the media like the plague. That's why few people really know what's going on in the Argentine's life. But don't worry, we've done our private detectivescape to reveal Messi's darkest secrets. Sit back and prepare to be amazed. Have you ever wondered what goes through a footballer's mind when he plays with his own avatar on PES or FIFA? The answer is simple. He only thinks about scoring against his opponent, exactly as he would do it himself on the field. And you will see him so tense on the gamepad that it threatens to explode. But when the player is Lionel Messi, the game can be even more difficult, believe me, because the Argentinian is as dazzling and efficient on the PlayStation as he is on the grass. The worst is when he plays with Barca and takes in hand his own virtual avatar. Because there it is on. You'll have to give up the controller because it will serve you strictly nothing to get tired of it. Messi is literally unbeatable on PES, FIFA, and in real life. So all those who play against him know in advance that they bet on the wrong horse. Of course, for the Argentine it's just another game of fun that he will manage calmly and with the subtle air he often wears, of the one who knows very well what he is doing. Lionel Messi's fans, who number in the hundreds of millions around the world, think they know everything about their beloved idol. But despite everything, the child prodigy of the football remains very discreet about his private life and his relationship with his friends and relatives. Rare are those who know, for example, that the real mentor of the Argentine is none other than Ronaldinho. The story goes back to 2005 when Messi was just a shy teenager taking his first steps with Barca. At that time, Ronaldinho was considered by all as the greatest footballer, but once he saw Messi with a ball on his foot, he knew that the succession was assured. He then took the young Argentine under his wing and became for him a kind of benevolent godfather, both on and off the field. It was thanks to a decisive pass from Ronaldinho that Messi was able to score his very first goal for FC Barcelona. The Brazilian was the only one in control when he had the ball at his feet, and he could have scored the goal himself. But because of his affection for Messi, he passed the ball to him so that he could score. Ronaldinho loved the young Argentinian very much, so much so that he was seen brushing his hair on several occasions. We can say that this very close relationship between the Brazilian mentor and his young Argentinian cult has contributed to make Messi the living legend that he is today, for the greatest honor of Ronaldinho. We have to admit it, but Lionel Messi doesn't really give the impression of being a Casanova who falls in love with women, and even less of a Don Juan womanizer. This is all the more true as you will not find more faithful in love than him. And if you do not believe us, just go and ask his wife Antonella Roccuzzo. She will tell you herself. Because the sweet half of Messi and mother of his 3 children is none other than the childhood girlfriend of the Argentine, the same one with whom he went out when he was 9 years old and still lived with his family in Rosario. But when he was 11 years old, Messi had to move to Barcelona in order to join the training center of the Catalan club, so he had to leave his lover behind. This painful separation did not affect the performance of Messi, who thanks to his talent and his exploits finally became the best player in the world. But what is surprising is that Messi had never really forgotten Antonella, and one day, fate decided to bring them together again. The young woman had just lost a dear friend, and Messi flew to join her and help her overcome her grief. One thing led to another, and a new and passionate love story emerged between the two young lovebirds, and you know the rest. We agree, the stars of the round ball of the scale of Messi travel very rarely by plane or train, if ever. And who can blame them for only traveling in private jets when we see all the luxury and comfort that these types of aircraft provide and that even the first class of the most prestigious companies can never match? So Greta Thunberg and her little clique of climate alarmists will not like it, because it is totally out of the question for Messi to travel in any other way than by private jet. The Argentinian has also pointed out by these so-called environmental vigilantes because of a very high number of trips by private plane. The prodigy of the round ball would have made no less than 52 flights in the space of only 3 months, which represents all the same a journey by plane every 2 days. Messi has thus made several tens of thousands of kilometers with a multitude of return trips to Spain, Argentina, or Miami. We revealed in one of our previous videos that Neymar had acquired 2 NFT tokens in the shape of monkeys. This is no secret for anyone, since the Brazilian, always true to himself, was eager to shout his new purchase on all the roofs. Unlike his teammate of PSG, a little too flashy, Messi is careful not to be so ostentatious, yet he can't afford it. Because blockchain technology and NFTs have no secrets for the Argentinian, and his knowledge of the subject goes far beyond that of a simple buyer. The 7-time Golden Ball is indeed not only the owner of a beautiful collection of tokens, but they are literally in his image and were created especially for him. Nothing to do with Neymar's tokens and his ridiculous monkey, for example, because Messi's tokens are simply splendid, true works of art. Their value is so unmatched since this collection of NFT stamped Messi has already reached $9 million at the time you watch this video. It is safe to say that Lionel Messi is a soccer addict, and without his daily dose, the Argentine is not responsible for anything. But it was not always so in truth, and the Argentine was a real cocaine addict in his early days at Barca. Wait a minute, don't cry foul yet, because it's only about his former addiction to Coca-Cola. An addiction that may be laughable after this little emotional high, but that almost cost the Argentine his career. Messi was indeed so addicted to Coca-Cola that he drank it by the gallon. And as if it wasn't enough, he was also addicted to chocolate and almost every type of candy you can think of. By gorging himself on sweets, Messi felt very bad when he was making efforts on the field. So much so that he sometimes even vomited during the games. So to cure this addiction, Pep Guardiola, the emblematic coach of Barcelona at the time, decided to take the bull by the horns and removed all the vending machines of sodas from the training grounds. From the height of 1.69 meters, Lionel Messi can sometimes look like a pygmy on the field, especially in front of footballers like Haaland or Zlatan Ibrahimovic. However, it is not his small size that prevented him from winning the Ballon d'Or 7 times, becoming a true living legend. The Argentine should consider himself lucky because his height could have been much smaller given the terrible genetic disease he suffered during his childhood. It was at the age of 10 that Messi and his family learned that he had a partial deficiency of growth hormones. He needed intramuscular injections of synthetic hormones. Otherwise, the young boy would never be able to grow taller than 1.50 meters as an adult. In other words, the height of a dwarf. This treatment was not only long and tedious, but it was also very expensive, at the rate of $1,000 per month for at least 30 months. That is to say $30,000, a sum that Messi's poor family can never have raised, even if they had sold all their possessions. Fortunately for him, the Argentine was spotted by agents of FC Barcelona, and the Catalan club took care of his treatment and soccer training, which was the most profitable investment in its history. When he arrived at PSG in 2021, Lionel Messi was given all the honors, and we can definitely say that the Argentine enjoyed a princely treatment by the club's leaders. In addition to his indecent salary of 41 million euros per year, as well as his multiple bonuses and advertising emoluments, Messi is also entitled to certain privileges worthy of the Saudi royal family. For example, the superb imperial suite at 15,000 euros per night, which he occupied for a long time in the prestigious Parisian palace of Royal Monceau. The renowned establishment displays luxury and refinement pushed to the extreme, and the Messi clan lived their very good moments before finally moving to their new villa. But in the end, we can't say that the Argentine will miss his Parisian palace since it was broken into shortly after the footballer moved. Large amounts of money and jewelry suddenly disappeared from the rooms of several tenants, giving nightmares to the owners of the place and especially to their insurance companies. One would expect a footballer like Messi to be a speed freak, and he is the proud owner of a Pagani Zonda Tricolore, a car powered by an atmospheric V12 that reaches 300 kilometers per hour. However, this infernal hypercar is strictly useless to him. We do not even know why he bought it. Yes, because you probably didn't know it, but the Argentinian has a real phobia of speed, and when he is behind the wheel, he is very careful with the accelerator pedal. The enfant terrible of Paris Saint-Germain is far from being a Schumacher in the making and prefers to go slowly but surely. So if you ever meet Messi on the highway, you are sure to pass him without any problems with your old Peugeot 205, even if he drives a Ferrari or a supersonic Zonda. And as always, on your favorite YouTube channel, we've saved the best for last with a Pulitzer-worthy scoop. Come closer, ladies and gentlemen, and above all, hold on tight, because the news may disturb you a little, or at least reveal the dark side of your beloved idol. Indeed, you must know that Messi, despite his angelic air, is not really a choir boy. Judge for yourself. The Argentinian has already appeared before the courts for tax fraud, a serious offense and very often liable to prison and exorbitant fines. It is indeed the Spanish state that accused Messi of having embezzled no less than 4.2 million euros in taxes over the period between 2007 and 2009. At that time, the Pulga was setting fire to La Liga with Barca and inflamed the fans hysterically. Now we know that he was also setting fire to the tax authorities at the same time, while keeping that air of innocence that could deceive even the most severe judges.